Twitch, Automu the Violet Wizard here, and today we are continuing Sonic Mania. Although, now we're playing Sonic Mania Plus. This is the game's DLC, which adds quite a few new things to the overall experience here. Right quickly, if we go into Mania mode here, and just go into our character select, there are some new faces that we're able to play as. But we're not diving into Mania mode during today's session, because we are going to try out Encore mode. This is a new mode that was introduced in the Plus DLC, and it's quite interesting, I'll say. You can see I've already had a bit of a practice file here, just so I could get used to the things here. We only have 3 save files here in Encore mode, and yeah, definitely the tone here is a lot more ominous than in Mania mode. Let's not delay this any further. Time to dive into a brand new adventure. I love that animation with the Phantom Ruby, that's just great. Man, I don't know where I was. Hopefully, I never have to experience that on stream. Welcome to Angel Island Zone, an area that was not in the base game of Sonic Mania, at least in terms of gameplay. This was the setting of the very first cutscene where we first saw the egg robos discovering the Phantom Ruby, but we cannot actually play in this area. This area is very similar to its appearance in Sonic 3, but got some new faces here. Wow, quickest act yet, not even 30 seconds in. We got a choice between 2 guys here. I feel like I'm going to go with you first. Whoa! Hi Magician, how you doing? Didn't we defeat you in the last mode? So right quick, one of the main features of Encore mode, as you can see here, you can have 2 characters at the same time, and you're able to freely switch between the characters that you have on screen. Meet Mighty the Armadillo. Originating from Sonic 3 and Knuckles, this guy is a character that really hasn't appeared much in the series since the old Genesis days. At least officially in the games. But, oh boy. We're gonna get more into this character soon, just enjoy the show. So it looks like the hard-boiled heavies are back once more, revitalized by the power of the Phantom Ruby. Which means we gotta scrap them again. And as you can see here, things have definitely changed a lot between the base game and here in Encore mode. So we're back in Green Hill Zone, the first area of the game, but things are quite a bit different. So one of the, well, great, I was going to talk about that character, but I guess I'm not going to do that. So one of the main details about Encore mode is that a lot of the levels have been remixed slightly in order to accommodate the new characters introduced into this mode. Not only that, but the visuals of the levels have also changed significantly. Okay, so now in Green Hill Zone we have a sunset aesthetic here. Actually, I may want to check this out just in case there's something. Okay, that's perfectly fine. So go a bit more into this character soon. I just want to get out of this area and into some place where I can actually use them effectively here. Alright, but now that we're out of there, let's go into some new characters here. So we couldn't really have a chance to talk about Mighty, but we have an opportunity to talk about this character. Ray the Squirrel, originating from Sega Sonic the Hedgehog. Definitely one of the most obscure Sonic games out there. But this guy is not just a squirrel, he's a flying squirrel. If you who have played a Super Mario World, then you'll probably find this guy's control scheme very familiar. It's very much like a version of the cape form that Mario can take in that game, man. Look at this, we're able to, just being able to traverse the landscapes like this is so goddamn cool, and again, we switch characters. So another thing about Mania mode is that there are also new monitors that affect your characters in a variety of ways. Like some will cause you to switch characters. So right now I'm Tails. I'm actually gonna go to Mighty just to get used to him. So as we're dealing with the first boss here, kind of want to go a bit more into the changes between Mania and Encore mode. Is that this game does not use the traditional life system. So in this mode, instead of collecting lives, we're essentially collecting characters to use as stock. Kind of like how you see in the Smash Brothers games, where we have a certain stock for using certain characters. So we have these characters in stock. We can have 2 of them active in the field, while the other 3 main characters can be basically in storage. And it really adds a lot to the overall gameplay here, where we have just a lot of freedom between the different characters we can play as. We're not just stuck to using one character throughout the entire adventure. We get opportunities just to play around with everyone. As you can see there, you can get characters. One of the main ways you get characters is by hitting the character monitors that you can find throughout the levels, and that gives you a nice accessible way to access these different characters. Something I will show with the goalposts very soon is that there is another way you can acquire characters, but since I currently have everyone in stock, I don't feel like it's very important. Again, I would like to talk a bit more about our new faces here, but we can't currently use them, which is disappointing. Another thing I will say about Encore mode that is going to become very apparent as this progresses is that getting the Chaos Emeralds in this mode is interesting. Because everywhere that the special zone rings were in base Mania mode, they are no longer in those locations here when playing Encore mode. So all the rings have been relocated to different spots throughout the zone, and if you want to get them, you just have to try your best to find them in new locations. Yeah, that's what I want to say about special zones. Another thing I want to say about that is that for this playthrough, I'm probably not going to get all the Chaos Emeralds. For a variety of reasons. One mainly is because we don't really have any big, important reward for getting all the Chaos Emeralds. It does affect the ending somewhat, but it's nothing really major and not something I'm going to really worry about. But as we're going into the first boss fight of Act 2 here, let's go a bit more into this character that we haven't really got a chance to really talk about. Mighty here, as an armadillo, is quite interesting. And so pretty much all the new characters have very special attributes to them that none of the other characters you can play as have. in Mighty's case, his armor helps protect him from spikes and other such hazards like the Death Egg Robot's claws. As long as he's curled up into a ball, he's able to completely negate damage from spikes. This is really damn helpful. It just makes him very fun to use in a variety of levels to get past certain hazards. Along with that, when he's curled up into a ball, he is able to reflect certain enemy projectiles. And he also has a ground attack, which essentially allows him to just quickly dive down on the ground, and it's useful for breaking certain things. It's a very cool character to play as, even though I haven't had much experience with them. But yeah, these are two very interesting new characters that they brought into this adventure. Between Mighty, who is really great at traversing a lot of the dangerous hazards in levels, and Ray just being able to completely fly over a lot of hazards, makes for some very interesting gameplay here. See here, we're just going to fly a bit. And yeah, that's cool. You can also recall your partner whenever you want, which is very cool. So kind of going into the monitors there are two monitors that help determine which characters that you switch. The question mark block will really change both of your characters. They will change both your active characters between the characters you currently have in stock. While the one that's just the arrows will swap the character you're currently playing as with one of the other characters you have in stock. Yeah, this is a very interesting way to have access to all these different characters again to play as them throughout the main story here. And like I said before, there is no main life system, so your lives are tied to the characters you are playing as, and yeah. It's a very interesting way to do things here, because I really want to get up so that we don't have to worry about drowning. Looks like Tails about to drown there. Ow! What hit me? Oh, is that guy there? Another thing I will say about Encore mode here is that, as I said before, some of the level geometry has been changed somewhat. For example, back there were not those spikes at that one segment. And here. Yeah, one of the main things in Encore mode when it comes to hazards is that they add a lot of spikes in places where there weren't before. It can be annoying, but it's not a deal breaker. Thanks, Tails. Really appreciate that. I actually should probably play as Tails soon, just because I never actually got to play as him during my Mania mode playthroughs. Like, I played with Mania mode with Sonic with Tails a partner, and also as Knuckles solo, but never really had a chance to actually play as Tails as a main character. Careful here. Ow. Disappointed I got hit by that too. But it's perfectly fine. Pretty easy boss, all things considered. Alright, so for Act 2, let's switch to Tails here, just to get kind of a feel for his gameplay. I will say about Tails, he is very similar to Sonic, except when it comes to speed. Overall, his acceleration is not as good as Sonic, but he more than makes up for it with his movability. As you can see here, Tails is capable of flight, allowing him to traverse a lot of hazards and explore a lot of geometry in the levels that Sonic would not normally be able to access. Of course, Tails will tire out eventually, so you're not just really able to fly wherever you want. But he's still a very fun character. Definitely one of my favorites from when I was a kid. Even though, as a kid, obviously, I got to play Sonic a lot more than my brothers did. Especially with my younger brother, because he would usually get put into Tails duty while I got Sonic. It's kind of the way things go. Like, the older brother always gets superiority in these games. Pretty much wasted whatever we could have gotten there. It's a shame. Yeah, these guys are annoying because they're projectiles. I think I'm actually going to switch to Mighty since it's better equipped for dealing with them. Just look at that, that's beautiful. Also kind of going a bit more into Mighty and Ray and a lot of the significance of them coming back. As I said before, these guys have not been seen for years. At least when it comes to the video games. They have made a few infrequent appearances in the comics, which is pretty nice, all things considered. The comics tend to be very good about reusing characters that haven't appeared in games for a long time. But yeah, the last time Ray and Mighty have been in a Sonic game has been in the Sega Sonic the Hedgehog, which I said before is a very obscure game that not a lot of people would have played. And yeah, just getting to see them in a major adventure again, especially one in the traditional Sonic gameplay style, is really cool. Alright, buddy, can we just get up here? Nice. Is there anything up here? I'm feeling like this was probably a special ring in vanilla. And another thing I want to say, especially with the Sonic Mania Plus DLC, is that this mode was actually given a very nice little bit of advertising before the game was officially released in the form of some animated shorts, which I think they were called Sonic Mania Adventures. And alright, did you see that? Yep, there is a special ring there, and yeah, it looks like I'm not going to be able to reach it from here. That's a shame. But yeah, there were animated shorts released in order to just kind of go hand in hand with Sonic Mania Plus that do prominently feature our Mighty and Ray in them. They're just very cute shorts overall, kind of going into what happened after the events of Sonic Forces. But yeah, overall just a very fun series of shorts. Just really love the characterization they do for the various characters, even though no dialogue. All the characters are completely mute, but they're still just so expressive and just full of energy when it comes to the animation that I really don't mind that they're mute. Just a very fun and a series of shorts. And yeah, it was great seeing Mighty and Ray get some deserved a focus in them. Alright, I was wondering what I was supposed to do there with that Mega Mac. I'm gonna be a little cautious here, cause yeah, I would have much preferred it to get to use Mighty in this area. It's definitely good for handling a lot of the hazards here. And yeah, Sonic Mania Adventure, just overall, a very solid cartoon. Of course, that series was directed by one of the main animation directors of this game, Tyson Hess, and he got to do a bunch more great Sonic shorts. But enough about that. It's time for Mean Bean Machine. Let's actually move that a bit. I don't know, whenever I go with this mode, I always try to go with the whole combo mechanics here, because this obviously based on a puzzle game, specifically based on Puyo Puyo. Yeah, the name Mean Bean Machine obviously is just based on the Sega Genesis, the port of the game. That's not gonna be good. At least I'm building up some good chances for combos here, even if I'm not really getting a whole lot of good. Alright, Alright, that's not good, but I don't mind just trying to survive here. This is still a boss that I really like, though. Just very fun they got to bring back this old thing from such a classic area of gaming here. It's not very good, but hey, not bad. I know what I'm trying to do here. Oh, I saw something I could have done. Okay, this will be good. Look at that. Beautiful. Sorry, Eggface. Yep, fun boss fight overall. Can't get enough of it. Studiopolis. Cannot get enough of this area. That's very nice getting a shield right away. Now this area, I do know that there is I am aware of at least one special ring I can get in this area. So actually before starting up my stream session for our encore mode here a few days ago, I did actually look up a run of this mode, since obviously I was very unfamiliar with this particular section of the game. After all, I only just bought it like a few weeks ago. Alright, so this part, want to destroy that, head down here, and we'll want to hop into this chair. And that gets a special ring. So check this out. Special stages are completely different from what we have seen before. But not in terms of aesthetics, because overall they do reuse the whole backgrounds and layouts from the old stages, but now we are essentially running through the special stages backwards. And not only that, but they also change up all the hazards and placements of all of the rings and the blue spheres to really shake things up. It's definitely going to be a lot tougher to try to get the Chaos Emerald in this mode. Adding to that, the actual areas that you run through are in the reverse order as they were from Mania mode. This background and layout is taken from the last special zone in Mania mode, and we are doing this as our first one. So, yeah, obviously, things are tougher here. And you'll definitely want to build up a lot of speed here. So gather those blue orbs, make sure you gather a lot of rings as you go, and we should be good here. And of course, in special stages, you want to cut corners as much as you can, avoid pits, and should be good. I remember having a decent time with this during my practice run. Yeah, we're catching up pretty nicely to the Emerald. We should have it very soon. I think we got us here. There you are, buddy. Come to Tails. This is probably the only Chaos Emerald we're ever gonna get in this run. Just like my previous playthroughs, I do tend to keep my stream sessions within or around the 2-hour mark, so really don't know how far we're gonna get into here before the end of this. Sidetails, I really like to play as you now, considering, well, I never use you when playing this game, but I was gonna say I want to take full advantage of my elemental shield, but we just wasted that against those guys. Alright, swap out of characters. Alright, Sonic and Mighty. What is nice is that you can recall your partner if they ever get away with you, so that's a nice way to just... It's a nice way that helps facilitate the character switching mechanics. And yeah, Mighty will be pretty good here. Definitely a lot of enemies in this area, a lot of hazards. Although spikes really aren't too much of a problem in Studiopolis, as I recall from all of my previous playthroughs in this area. Alright, buddy, you are mean. Take that. Fire shield would be nice. Switch to Sonic for that. Yeah, whenever I have opportunities where I get elemental shields, I'll probably switch to Sonic when I can, since he benefits from them the most. And rematch with one of our first hard-boiled heavies here. Hey, Copper. I know that I don't tend to talk about, stuff in... I know I tend to don't talk a lot about stuff going on in the real world when I'm in my streams, but I don't have a lot of faith in police right now. Let's just say that. But what I will say I enjoy here is the ever-amazing soundtrack by good old T-Lows. Hard-boiled heavies here, definitely one of his best songs. Can't get enough of it. I guess I could go with Mighty here, because he is pretty good with this boss fight, especially when dealing with the missiles, but... Oh no, I still favor Sonic here, especially when he has the fire shield. Ah, this is such a bop! I know I really haven't gone too much into the overall level aesthetic changes, especially when it comes to this particular zone. Ooh, nice hit, Mighty. But yeah, Studiopolis is interesting in terms of looks here. Definitely looks a lot more grainy, I want to say. Definitely a bit muddier, which kind of fits with the overall tone of Encore mode. Things tend to be a lot darker, somewhat. Or I guess I could say is that something just doesn't feel quite right with the overall aesthetics. Like, even here in Studiopolis Act 2, things look kind of murky here. Kind of dingy, which, I mean, this is Eggman's film studio where he produces propaganda. But, you know. Ooh, we actually got into one of the lottos. That's nice. Yeah, really not expecting to have too much trouble in this run, I'll think it's it. Oh, that's bad. Sadly, we didn't get any bonus ranks from that. Wow, Mighty just shot ahead without us. Having fun, dude? I heard Mighty using the bumpers even before. That's great. I seem to recall something. Alright, I faintly recall location of one of the rings somewhere in this act that I especially want to try to get. I know that this was one of the special ring locations back in vanilla. I know I still haven't shown off what's at the goalpost minigame yet, but I will get to it soon, trust me. I wonder if this is... Nope, okay. It's definitely one of these at some point. I might have actually passed it, I don't know. Buddy, can you please hit that? So just because it's been a while since my last stream, which I think was New Year's, I just kind of wanted to mention what's been going on lately. I know it's been a while since my previous streams, but yeah, for a few reasons, I just really wasn't having a lot of motivation to do any sessions, which kind of sad when it happens, especially in our current times when we're very starved for entertainment. But I'm just trying my best to stay alive here, and doesn't help that I had a lot of work to do lately, which just, yeah, that definitely killed a lot of enthusiasm. It's a shame I didn't go into the lotto there. It would be nice. But yeah, I'm still thinking a lot of plans for the future of this channel, and yeah, it'll be interesting. Definitely got some artwork that I feel would work nice for intros and outros, and some other things. Right, so this will definitely be Sonic, cause Sonic's able to get like just enough height where he can even hit Eggman in his vanilla position, and we can just totally cheese this fight. I remember at Knuckles this fight gave me so much trouble just because Knuckles' jump height is so much shorter than Sonic's. And they're just headbanging to the music there. Yeah, we are all done with Studiopolis Encore mode. Pretty interesting, all things considered. It's a shame that I didn't get an opportunity to go in any special rings besides one. Because, yeah, I am aware of the location of a few of the special rings in the vanilla Studiopolis, which are very helpful. But enough of that. Into Flying Battery, which, again, is looking a lot murkier compared to last time. Now, I know this part, you want to go up. Trust me on this. I will also say this area is great for another cute little detail if you're playing as Ray. So when I get the opportunity to play as him again, I will definitely show that off. But yeah, go up here and we got another special Ray. And oh boy, this one. I recall having a lot of trouble with this stage back in my practice playthrough. There's just so many hazards in this one. And the opportunities to get rings here can be a little awkward. But yeah, there is a lot of hazards here. And it just makes getting through this section pretty agonizing. Definitely want to make sure you grab as many rings as you can, get those blue spheres, and we should be good. Another thing I want to say about Encore mode, especially relating to the blue sphere, is that you cannot access the blue sphere minigame from Encore mode, at least as far as I know. Because that is instead replaced with another thing that we'll be going into fairly soon, depending on how things go here. So I really didn't want to... I managed to get a few more rings again, so it's not too bad. But yeah, special stages, cut corners whenever you can, and we should be pretty good. Just wanna... There's a lot of rings up here, which can get you some good time. Alright, we're at Mach 3. This is gonna be interesting, to say the least. Be really careful, because it's very easy to slip off the edge here. And it's something I don't want to do. Ow! Bitch! And it's very, very easy to lose control and just get all your rings knocked out of you here. Let's go up here to get those rings. I really don't know the optimal path for going through this area, which is a bummer, because you can see there, the Chaos Emerald is really ahead of us. Really gotta close the distance. I I'm cutting corners as much as I can here, but yeah, this is pain to deal with. Right, grab some nice rings there. Unfortunately, I'm going to have to get stalled. We are dangerously running low on rings. We are nowhere near the Chaos Emerald. We gotta close that distance fast. Yeah, it's probably gonna take me a few tries of this one just because I'm still not really used to it. No, Sonic, why did you not grab those rings? We needed them. Yeah, I don't think we are going to close the gap here. This thing is way too ahead of us. Yeah, we are pretty much done here. Ugh, we got so close, though. Yeah, with practice, I think I can get through this special stage, because... oof, was that a tough one. Yeah, just kind of going back into how I've been feeling lately, just... man, I'm still recovering from my last work shift. It was very busy, which is a shame because it's actually one of the shifts that I explicitly requested not to have to do last year, and lo and behold, I got that shift again, and yeah, just not a whole big fan of that. Especially with it being something that I explicitly requested not to have to do again, but whatever, I was able to get through it, and hopefully I don't see that again. Sorry about that, bud. Let's grab that, and definitely don't want to hit that capsule, because that causes bad nicks to pop out of it. I should know this, I've played this game like so many times. Which I will say, it's very impressive just how many times I've been able to play Sonic Mania, and yet I never grow bored of this game no matter how many times I play it. Especially with how you're able to play this game in so many different ways with all the different branching paths to it. Like, very easily you can have playthroughs that are completely different, and you don't retread the same ground each time. Just... so what I really love about this game, it is endlessly replayable. I love it so much of that. And especially here with the new encore mode, and just overall the... ow. Alright, let's switch to Mighty, because he is very good against the enemies in this area. Thanks for that, bud. That was annoying. Oh great, I got Tails and Knuckles, everyone's favorite team combination. Yeah, definitely won't knock him. I do like Tails and Knuckles. But when playing through this mode, I tend to favor playing as Mighty and Ray, specifically because they're the newcomers. And, you know, they haven't been in a game since the 90s, so let's give them a break, you know? Ow. That was jerkish. What was I saying before? Oh yeah, about replayability. Not only does Encore mode just give you this very fun experience with these characters, but as I showed before, you're able to go through Mania mode as Mighty and Ray. They are totally selectable as characters, and it's just a really good time if you're able to play as them. I want to see what's up here, and it's probably nothing. Ow. I hate that the bottom of those platforms hurt you. Well, take that, Sonic. Alright, we're Mighty, that's good. Mighty's especially good here. He's good against, like, all the... well, most of the enemies in this area, which is very good. Ow! Oh, I forgot I crushed you. But yeah, that's another good thing about Encore mode here. because of the character stock system, and since we're not relying on lives, we are just able to freely pick up our place when a character dies. So we don't have to worry too much about losing progress. This just makes the overall experience of this mode so refreshing. Like, just being able to pick up immediately after we left off, well, not all the time, but in certain areas, you're able to pick up immediately, and it's just great. It definitely helps the pacing of encore mode. So you're not just replaying the same areas over and over, but you are also able to just have a little better flow of this. Why am I having so much trouble there? I almost, like, never have trouble with that section. I swear it's the recording curse. The second you hit play, just, you are increasingly bad at things that normally would not give you trouble. That's a shame I don't have enough rings there. I could have shown up a thing. Hey, Eggman. Those are very nice blueprints for your niece's new mech. Very impressed to see it in action. But yeah, we got the trash compactor boss again. One thing for sure, we're definitely going to be a lot thinner. Ow. Ow. Sonic, could you not hit it when it's electric? Tails, shut down all the garbage compactors on the detention level. I actually don't know if this thing can actually crush you. I've never tried it. Can someone get this walking carpet out of my way? Even more awesome music. I can't help it. I really love Flying Battery Act 2. This area is just amazing. Oh, I see you there. As I said in my previous playthroughs, I just cannot get enough of this. Alright. Start this up here, and... this area is just so good, not only at combining aspects of Flying Battery, but also with Egg Fortress, and it's just, it's so good. I cluck. Ow. That's a pain. Alright, look at this. Isn't it just cool the way that Ray flips between the bars? It's actually based on one of his animations from Sega Sonic the Hedgehog. Very nice detail that they put into this game. Okay, buddy, stop it. I really don't know how well Ray's flight abilities are going to be here. I mean, we can try at some points, but I don't really think it's going to be good overall. Yeah, I know. How about we switch to Sonic, then? Because I really don't want to lose Ray here. I already lost Mighty. And it might be a while before we see him again, given how this game is structured. I definitely wish I was a bit better at this game when it comes to exploration, actually knowing where the secrets are, because... yeah, getting to know these things would be really dang helpful. As I said before, I'm not focusing on trying to get all the Chaos Emeralds this run. It'd be a nice bonus, but I don't see it happening. Alright, just ready? Tails, are you okay down there? He'll be fine. He can fly, of course he'll be fine. Yeah, just... god damn, playing this level, it's a rush whenever I get to play it. It's so good. Alright, for this one, let's actually be Tails just to make sure I completely mess up Let's try that again. There we go. Got the electric shield. Let's actually switch to Sonic since... Why do I do these things? Ow. You guys are being annoying. Just see if I can, yep, completely ow. Dang it. Oh, sorry about that, Tails. We'll get you again soon. Oh, sorry, Knuckles. But yeah, definitely feeling the characters on a stock thing here and not being able to, like, readily access certain... Actually, I haven't been up on this part. Oh! Yep, up there's a special ring. I did not know about this. Also, look at this. The only time in a major Sonic game you ever see Ray's 3D model. Yep, obviously because these characters never made it into the 3D era games, we never got to see what their adventure designs could have been like. It's really a shame, because I do think Mighty and Ray do have some good designs overall. I mean, when you really think of it, Ray's just kind of another Tails, while Mighty has a lot of aspects of both Sonic and Knuckles in his design. But they're still cool. Let's grab those. So I want to make sure I have a lot of rings here, because I don't want to repeat of last time. Alright, let's try to build up our speed here. It's a shame I missed that. Whoa. I am very impressed I managed to dodge that. Save those rings for a bit later, just in case. Alright, now I think this is like a good point for like cutting distance. Alright, hitting that's good. Really want to get to Mach 3 because then our speed boosts are going to be really good. There we go. Alright, for acceleration up, we'll be much better at cutting corners here. Actually, we're not too far behind this Emerald. We've been doing pretty good at hitting some of the good shortcuts here, and that's helped us to keep up a good pace with the Emerald here. Again, I don't have a whole lot of practice with this particular zone, but we're doing much better this time. Oh yeah, we got this. That's Emerald number 2. Woo! It's only gonna get harder from here. Good work, Ray. How many times can you say you played a game where Ray the Flying Squirrel managed to get a Chaos Emerald? Alright, that was good. Managed to clear another area. How do we get down? Oh, there we go. Knuckles, you okay there, bud? Actually, switch to Knuckles. I think normally this is an area where you would have gotten a special ring in vanilla. That's nice. Managed to get Tails back, and Sonic is here. Groovy. I'm wondering if we're actually able... Is there anything for us to get up here? Just want to check, just in case. Doesn't look like it. Okay, just an area for you to restock on characters. That is perfectly fine. Must say, definitely something I like to do going forward. Not necessarily for my channel, but with other things, is that, of course, some of my friends also stream games, and I definitely like to get a lot more of... just kind of do a lot more content with them. Especially with some of the similar things that we've done. Like, I previously said how a lot of my friends came together to play a lot of Smash Brothers and Kirby during New Year's. just so fun. I'd love to do something very similar like that soon. Alright, that was interesting, to say the least. Yeah, Tails, you can just jump there. Where are you going, Knuckles? Okay, I have all characters. I'm not going to show off what's in there yet, which I know. I've constantly been saying that I was going to show off what's in there. Oh, so something I didn't know about. If you jump in here to get those rings, you just blow through those windows and you get an achievement for it. That was something I found out during my practice run. It's cute, I guess. Don't know why they had to hide an achievement for something so obscure. Whatever, we are pretty making excellent progress here through the Flying Battery slash Egg Fortress. Oh, love you, Mighty. You're so good at dealing with these plucks. So I guess something else I could say relating to the Sonic series right now is, a while ago, it was revealed that Netflix has picked up a Sonic the Hedgehog cartoon, which we really don't know anything about right now, but I am very hopeful that they managed to produce some good stuff. Like, I know that Sonic has had an interesting history when it comes to animation, but if it's anything of the same quality as if it's anything of the same quality as the Sonic Mania shorts, I will instantly love it. Oh, hi, Agat. Haven't seen you here in Encore mode yet. Yes, I know it's Robotnik, but I've just gone with the idea of us facing Agat here. It's one of my favorite fan-made Sonic creations in recent years. I can't get enough of it. Such a great design and concept. I managed to get some decent hits here. This boss did give me a bit of trouble during my practice run, believe it or not. Oh, that's nice. Some nice, good damage. Also, another reason why I associate this boss fight with Egghead so much is that when it comes to media, a lot of spider characters tend to be female. You know, you got Charlotte from Charlotte's Web, Sheila from Lord of the Rings, Muppet from Undertale. It's very rare that you see a male spider in media, you know? So yeah, that's just kind of how I feel about that. Ray, why are you taking the glider? You can fly naturally. You were naturally built for this. But anyway, I'm just not going to get too bummed out about any of that because we're in Press Garden, another of my favorite areas. I will say this is also a very good area if you're able to get Ray, because he can break the damage boxes here, and it's just very nice. And to be able to interact with different parts of this level like that. Again, why I really like the characters here in Mania Plus. They give them just very good tools for traversing these areas in unique ways. Which, I guess I could maybe talk about this because it's kind of relevant to the stuff going on. So, among the Sonic fandom when it comes to games that involve playing as more than just Sonic, it really depending on the game, it depends on whether the ability to control these different characters is seen as a plus to the game or something to the game's detriment. Because under good circumstances, you've got a game here like Mania, where overall all the characters control just similar enough, we're able to get the basics of how they play very easily, but they have enough tricks to them that help keep them distinct, and it makes it so that you're never bored when playing as them. But then otherwise you get circumstances like Sonic 06, where you have a character who moves
very sluggishly, and whose only really reliable way of attacking enemies relies on using bits of the environment. And yeah, when it comes to that in the Sonic series, it can be really disappointing when you have a character who has an interesting playstyle, but for whatever reason, they just don't control right, and it just really dampens the experience overall. I want to go out there because I definitely don't want to get crushed. So if I can find some boxes for Mighty to break, that is something we can do. Ooh, look at that. That's cool. But yeah, I know a lot of people have trouble with, well, they usually have issues when it comes to playing as characters other than Sonic. But this game gets it right. All the characters have very similar feels while also being very distinct in terms of play styles. And it keeps things very interesting and fun. Like, going a run of this game with Sonic and then going for a different run with Knuckles, they feel like two very distinct games because of the way they play. And yeah, it just keeps things feeling very fresh, very enjoyable. That's part of the reason why I love Sonic Mania so much. Just with all the character options you have, it makes the experience for the game, no matter who you're playing as, great. Oh, hi, Knuckles. I was just talking about you earlier, bro. I should be just at the end here. Okay, now this I remember from... Yep. So I remember this from the Brain Scratch playthrough of Encore mode that I saw. It is time for another course, and this one will be interesting, because I haven't actually played this one. Let's do this. So we got a new thing we're able to interact with here. We can use those bumpers in order to gain some elevation and help us reach certain items, and just a new way of traversing these stages that we didn't normally get to see in the other playthroughs. Pretty interesting, all things considered. I really don't know how I feel about them too much, because they definitely require a lot of precision in order to use them optimally. But it is an interesting addition to Encore mode here. Ooh, that was close. Yeah, this is really something. Yeah, this is going to be an interesting course to beat, especially because we're already very low on rings. Grab those, buddy. I just wanted to make sure I knew which character I was playing as. Very happy to see Tails, even though, you know, he can't fly in this mode. Disappointing that none of the characters get their special movement options in the special stages, but come on, if you could use Tails' flight in this stage, that would break these segments in half. I really want to grab some rings so that we can, because we are very, very close to getting this. We just need some rings. Oh, we're not going to do this, are we? No. No! Okay, that special stage is very jerkish. The ring placements in this one are very sparse, so you have to be really precise when it comes to traversing this area in order to get that. It's a shame we weren't able to do that, but whatever. Alright, Tails, I know combat's not really your thing, but you can take out this boss. It's really nothing difficult. Again, I really like that this boss shows you the trick for dealing with it in its introduction. It's a very nice bit of gameplay and story coming together like that. Alright, buddy, come down here. Get you to hit this box. Oh, that's it. Pound my box. Yes, I know what that means. Shut up. Come on. That's it. You really know your way around a box. Okay, I'll stop. guys. Handle that boss very nicely. Wow, we like completely ran past the goalpost. Good work, guys. Alright, onward to Press Garden Act 2. Knuckles, you can lead us through here. I just cannot get enough of the zone. Press Garden, definitely one of my favorites. As you can see here, again, things are just kind of melancholy here overall. Not only with the overall aesthetic, like I love the vanilla aesthetic of this area, and they really nail just making this area feel very somber in this mode, when it wasn't really like this in vanilla. Yeah, we can have Knuckles climb here. Speaking of Knuckles, another thing that we'll probably, I don't know if we're actually going to get to in this session, but a session very soon, is that there is an interesting thing relating to Knuckles that he won't really have a chance to. Well, let's just say that things have definitely changed between Mania and Encore mode when it comes to a certain level going forward. We'll get more into that in the future, but just keep that in mind as we go here. See, my friend Nate's still playing Terraria. I think he's mainly trying to speedrun the game, which, very admirable. I'm not really a speedrunner myself. Although I do know a few speedrun strats that I tend to use in my playthroughs of certain games. Like, I have a very optimal route when it comes to playing Mega Man X, and trust me, that is a game I'm looking forward to streaming sometime in the future. Ow. Man, that was bad. I did not want to lose that. And I don't think we'll be able to break those. Nope. Alright. Let's go for it, bud. Does that lead to anything? No? Alright, what does this do? I like that you can just have your characters looking around while they're frozen. It's like, what have I gotten myself into this time? Another thing I like to say going forward, especially with my streams, and so I'm going to try definitely a lot of things that I am interested in doing from an experimental side when it comes to streaming. Like, one thing I really have had an idea for quite some time is role-playing, where I'm just doing a playthrough of a game, but instead of just doing my normal commentary like what I'm doing here, I'm actually acting out as the characters. I mean, kind of similar to what I do when I'm playing through certain RPGs, but under that, those instances, I'm usually just reading out their dialogue and not really getting a big opportunity to, like, really experiment. You get what I'm saying? I like that frozen animation. Ow! I ran right into that saw blade. What is wrong with me? Another thing I like to say, I would definitely like to get... Okay, good. Want to say that I wanted to beat Mighty, because he is really good against this fight. It's the Egg Shinobi. Compared to the last time, we are more than equipped for dealing with this feisty ninja. You can see there that the Egg Shinobi has the Asterons. Remember, Mighty is immune to spike damage. So he's completely able to bypass the damage the Asterons do when he's curled into a ball. This obviously makes the fight against the Egg Shinobi so much easier. Look at that! That's beautiful! Woo! Very nice run of that boss, all things considered. Good work, Mighty! Again, why did they never bring this character back for other games? He's so cool. Eggman, what you got there? Oh, looks like he's playing Sonic CD. Very interesting. Oh, God! Awesome music time! As I said before, I cannot get enough of Stardust Speedway. This area is so good. Ooh, it's a good thing I have my spike resistance there, cause ooh, that would be something. Another thing I can say about some stuff going on in the future of this channel is that I've been having a lot of ideas for different games I can play, especially pertaining to ones that came out, I want to say somewhat recently, all things considered, because there's definitely some interesting ones I would like to get into, especially ones I've been watching playthroughs of very recently. Because there's this one game you've probably heard of, it's called Bug Snacks, and my god, that game just looks so good. Like, it has a lot of the things I like in the video games, just the very cartoony art style, very cute visuals, also interesting gameplay revolving around collecting things, interactions with a lot of the NPCs, and it's just a really cool game that I'm very hoping to experience sometime soon. Yeah, that'll definitely be something I want to try out, especially on the streams, because definitely a lot of good stuff in there. I really like its presentation overall. Alright, I wonder if this leads to anything. It'd be nice if we could get another chance at those special stages that gave me trouble. I don't know. We should be very close to the end of Stardust Speedway here. No, I'm still not going in that goalpost. I am not willing to do that yet. Woo. Really thankful for Mighty's spike immunity here, since there are so many spike hazards in this area. It's definitely a very good character to have in this zone. In fact, sometime after I'm done this stream series, I might actually try out the Ray and Mighty playthroughs in Mania mode, just to kind of see how they're like. Because I've really only seen their gameplay here in Encore mode, which is a fantastic mode, all things considered. But just getting to see how they play in the vanilla game would be really cool. So that's something I'll definitely try on my own time, not in a stream series, because we should be wrapping up Sonic Mania for good. Ow. Dude, could you not do that, Audrey, too? But yeah, we'll be wrapping up the Sonic Mania playthrough very soon. Once we're done with Encore mode, that is a good stopping point for me in terms of the stream series. Alright, got a big Firefly to deal with here. Got some nice hits on him there. Yeah, definitely got a lot of plans for the future on this channel, both when it comes to games and also just trying to enhance the overall presentation of things. Shame I took the hit there, but whatever. Like, I know how simple the art direction of this game can be at times, but I just love the little bits of character animation they give to Mighty and Ray here. It's so good. Really gets to showcase their personalities, what little they have. Like, you can obviously get here that Mighty's, of course, a very proud and physical-oriented character, while Ray's a lot more of the... Okay. Hang on here. This is something. If I don't know what is up, we just got some pretty major drops here. My connection, come on. Let's get stable again, bud. Okay, I think we're good. I think we're good. I guess something else I can talk about while we're going through this section of the game just really doesn't have anything to do with Sonic right now. Just something that I wanted to mention because something I really like. So when I was younger, there was a show that I didn't get a chance to really... what am I trying to articulate here? When I was younger, there was a show that I didn't get into that I'm really kicking myself for not getting into until this late in my life, which was Chowder, a Cartoon Network show that is just really dang funny. And like every time I see this cartoon, I just start loving it more and more just because of its great humor and characters. And very recently on the YouTubes, I discovered that this show had a reanimated collab, which is definitely something that I really like. One of my favorite things to see on the internet at this time is just a lot of creative people coming together in order to reanimate classic cartoons. And yeah, it was really good. And so the Chowder Reanimated project was specifically based on a Christmas special. Although they don't have Christmas in their world, it's called Knishmas. Look, Chowder's a very strange show, okay? And yeah, just a really good reanimated collab. I've seen a lot of great collabs and also some kind of mad ones. But yeah, Chowder Reanimated, definitely a fun time. I can definitely recommend it, especially if you're just a fan of animation, because it's a lot of great segments in there. Easily my favorite is the "Woman, you are one giant lump of coal" part. It's just so freaking good. I love the animation of that part. Yeah, cannot recommend it enough. Alright, this is going to be interesting having Mighty go up against this boss. Huh, I haven't seen you since Knuckles Chaotix. It is actually very fitting that we're playing as Mighty in this segment, considering that he has canonically been up against Metal Sonic. Dude, can you not do that? Like, what else can I say about this part that I haven't already said in my previous playthroughs of this game? Well, I could say here that, damn, that purple just really makes this area look cool. I I gotta be more careful with the silver Sonic parts here. Alright, buddy, just... Alright, we should be making good progress here. I really don't like that it's arm attack. Does that thing where it just completely disables your roll there. Alright. Took care of Metal Sonic there. Time for Phase 2. Which is the good one, because we gotta go up against Metal Sonic Kai. Also, just what a cool idea for this phase, having Metal Sonic using the power of the Phantom Ruby to power himself up. Oh, I love it! This fight is so good! Especially because I am a huge Metal Sonic fan. So yeah, obviously I would love this fight so much. I'm careful here. There we go! Metal Sonic Kai is down! Sorry, bud. Maybe next time. How rude. So I remember that this was the point where I ended my first Knuckles session. So I think we could knock out another zone before we call it a night here. Well, just drank the last of my juice, so of course this will be the last segment we do for tonight. Hydro City. Once again, another zone I really like. Sure, this place does have a lot of hazards, but I'm not expecting it to be too bad, especially because we have Mighty here. And Mighty eats through hazards for breakfast. Also, look at the colors of this place. It's definitely a lot different from the Hydro City we're used to. So I believe the color palette here is actually more supposed to be based on the appearance of Labyrinth Zone from the original Sonic the Hedgehog. And let me tell you, as a longtime fan of the Sonic series, Labyrinth Zone's easily one of the worst areas of any Sonic game. Nobody has any pleasant experiences with it. It's just such a terrible area. And I'm glad that they were able to revitalize the concept of a Sonic water stage in the form of Hydro City, because this area really is amazing. Let's raise... Oh yeah, we can't raise the water from there. We have to grab that. And that raises the water level for us. Alright, time to go into the Sonic Game Gear bubble. That's all I like to call it. Yeah, I just cannot get enough of Hydro City. Just a great area. Love the music, love the aesthetics. The level design, I mean, come on, this area is great. Very big, very open-ended. There is so much you can do here, and it's great. Is there anything for us up here? Oh yeah, there's that, because we have to turn off the water current. That's right. I'm very glad the stream is stable right now, and I can actually show off this section of the game in this quality. Because, you know, really love this area, and I try to present everything that I show off as best as I can. I mean, I say that, and come on, considering how things were in the early days, I mean, I still have my old Insurgents recordings back when my microphone settings really weren't the best. And even the current microphone I'm using is not that great. But hey, sometime this year, I am planning on getting a new microphone to improve the quality of things going forward. Just just want to overall have a better experience as a streamer. Because, come on, this is 2021. We managed to escape one of the most brutal years of our lives. We have to make something better for ourselves in the future. So already, I'm really liking this stage with Mighty. Between the two characters, I will say that Mighty is definitely the easiest to use. I mean, Ray is pretty good in his own right, but when you're in the more compact levels, like here in Hydra City, I tend to go with Mighty more because he's much better for dealing with the hazards in these areas. Whereas Ray is mainly good for the more open areas, like Green Hill and Stardust Speedway. Not really knocking Ray because he's also a fun character to play as. And that's especially coming from someone who is a big fan of Super Mario World and just overall liking that playstyle of being able to zip through the air very quickly. I remember this segment actually giving me some trouble with Knuckles, so of course the game gives me Knuckles as the character I switched to. Also, hi Ray, I was just talking about you and how you're not very good in these compact areas. Don't worry, bud, I still love you. You're still my favorite flying squirrel that's not named Rocky. I mean, you're better than a Molga at least. Hey, Eggman. Speaking of which, of course, I have some plans for some future Pokemon streams, not just with Emerald, which should be wrapping up sometime very soon. Let's just say that I have plans. I haven't fully got things sorted out until I've actually gone through some tests, but hopefully things go through pretty well for the future of Pokemon videos on this channel. Obviously, I don't have the best methods for streaming the official games, but I will still be able to check out some content based around this series in the future. Don't worry about it. Alright, Knuckles and Ray made a pretty good team, which is actually surprising given the way they interacted in that one episode of Sonic Mania Adventures. Like, I know I've been talking so much about that show, but I can't understate how much I love Sonic Mania Adventures. So good. But enough about that. We are here in... Oh, hey, Knuckles and Mighty. This is actually a team that makes sense, since they're both playable in Knuckles Chaotix. And yeah, playing through this section here, as well as the whole of this game, is really making me want to replay some of the classic era Sonic games. Like, I do have Sonic 2 and Sonic 3 and Knuckles that I could play, and I definitely consider streaming them at some point. They'll obviously be much quicker than my stream sessions here at Sonic Mania, because those games are a lot shorter, but... yeah, I'm definitely going to have to get some practice in before I consider streaming those games, because they can be very difficult. Like, when I said that Mania is definitely on the easy side when it comes to Sonic games, I definitely mean that. I can't help it, this game's just very accessible, it's very fun to play through. I just cannot get enough of this game. And yeah, the fact that it's easy is actually in the game's favor, because it just makes it so much easier for me to jump in and just enjoy the experience overall. Oh hey, we got Ray back. Yeah, we can play as Ray for a bit. We haven't had much action with him during this playthrough. I've definitely been using Mighty a lot, given his skills are just so good. But yeah, Ray definitely has his own merits. Unfortunately, we can't see there. Alright, that's actually not a good point to fly there. Woo! Look at that! Look at the speed we're getting. That is beautiful. I mean, how could you dislike a game that allows you to pull these kind of stunts? So good. Is there anything in here? Okay, I would have liked to have Mighty there, but okay. Whatever. I'm probably not going to be able to get up there because I feel like that would be a place to put a special ring in this area. I want to switch to Knuckles, actually. Gliding makes it a bit easier to traverse this area. Alright, whatever, let's swap characters. Ray and Sonic. Definitely an interesting pair. I mean, these two have been together. So, it's a pair that makes sense. Alongside having Sonic and Mighty, and Knuckles and Mighty. It's kind of interesting. Tails really hasn't interacted at all with Mighty and Ray in the past when it comes to the games. Speaking of Tails, he's actually an interesting case because he did have his own spin-offs on the Game Gear, I believe. And I know that people don't really talk about the Tails games that favorably, but it is something, still a piece of Sonic history, even if it's not entirely well received. Alright, buddy, need you to... There we go. And we should be wrapping up this zone fairly shortly. Well, look at him go! Alright, we're about ready to face the boss. Knuckles, where'd you go? Hi, Eggman. I must say, having played this game all these times, and just all my experiences with it, it's probably one of my least favorite of the bosses in this game. Like, I have gone on saying that I do feel like the bosses in this game are an improvement over some of the others in the series. But, I don't know, just the pacing of this fight with the two different phases, that kind of drags the fight a bit. Ow. Really disappointed that I hit that. It's definitely not good. So yeah, definitely not one of my favorites in this game now, but still something. I do like the way that it transitions into the mid-boss from the original Hydra City. I still feel like that is a very cool addition. Again, Mighty makes this fight so much easier with his added invincibility. Oh, so good. I love using Mighty in the boss fights. Whoa, look at that! That's good. Seriously, I cannot get enough of this character. He is so good to play as. Again, makes me very hopeful that they do something more with these characters. Maybe in a sequel to this game, hint hint, please do as Sega. I will give you all my money for it. But with that said, we are just about at the hour-and-a-half mark, and I'm feeling a little tired, so we're gonna have to conclude here at an actually interesting area that I would love to go more into, but yeah, we're gonna call things for now. So next time on Sonic Mania Plus, we will be continuing through Encore mode and hopefully seeing the end of this amazing adventure. Until next time, have a good night and take care. title animation there. It's so cute. Okay, I'm gone. See ya.